Hello everyone, this is Mohsen from Gemvision company and I'm here to show you how to migrate from Matrix 9 to Matrix Gold easily and efficiently. We have received a lot of feedback from Matrix 9 users who are very interested to move to Matrix Gold and they are ready to do that, but they have some difficulties or they have some worriness about job interruption, or even they think that they cannot communicate with Matrix Gold interface or even defining the commands to create the object. So we decided to create this video and help you guys to find the best way to move to Matrix Gold. So by the end of this video, you will see that it wasn't as difficult as you thought. Okay, are you ready for that? Let's go started. So the most important things in part one that I want to talk about this is comparing their interfaces together, because um, it's the first things that you will see when you open Matrix Gold. They are not the same, okay? But now you will see that it's s- it seems that they are not the same, but actually they are. They have a lot of similarities, okay? Um, so let me show you these kind of things. So in Matrix Gold, we decided to have a ribbon bar, which is here. Okay, I want to show you guys, which is here, to put all the comments on the toppest part of the software. So ribbon bar is a place, a ribbon bar. Okay, it's a place that we put and categorize all Matrix Gold command. So as you can see, we have them in curve and dedicated color like yellow, surface, solid, tools, gems, settings, cutters, transform, playu, render, view, mesh, dimension, analyze, miscellaneous, and manufacturing. And let me give you a brief explanation about each categories. So in the first category, we have curve commands and modification. Okay, I will come back to ribbon bar later on, but now let's just a brief explanation. In surface menu, we have the commands related to the surface and surface modification. Solid, the same. It's related to the solid and solid modification. Tools, it's a container which has the comments, dedicated comments, the Gemvision company that we created to help you to create the object faster and easier. For example, if you want to make a ring rail or outside the ring rail, it's just with one click you will have them. Okay, or split shank, bypass outside shank, profile placer, profile cap, gem reports, and so on. Okay, they are very specialized Gemvision commands. Gem, all the command that you need to create the gem and modify your gem. Settings, everything related to mounting and setting the diamonds in a different kind of setting, as you know, bezel setting, head setting, basket setting, putting the prong and these kind of things. Cutters, related to the cutters that we have. Transform. In transform menu, we have three different kind of commands. The ones that helps you to change the shape, the ones that helps you to relocate an object, then the ones that helps you to copy an object in a different way. For example, shear, twist, and taper, a cage edit, and these kind of commands helps you to change the shape of your object. Okay. The commands like orient helps you to relocate or replace an object. And then the comments like copy, mirror, and these kind of things, or rotate helps you to move the object, okay, or even array. So this is the function of the transform menu. We have the sub modeling like playu. We have a render that helps you to create a realistic render, view that helps you to change the viewport specification, viewport features. Okay, mesh contain the comments that helps you to work on mesh dimension related to the measurement, these kind of thing, analyzing your object in a different way. And some important command that we use in each finds like move, rotate, join, split, trim, and these kind of thing. We have them like 11 importance comments in Matrix 9 and manufacturing that helps you to put the support, repair your object, your mesh, and these kind of things. So, and now let's get back to Matrix 9. And as you can see, we have something similar here. As you can see, curve contains all the comments related to the curve, surface, solid, mesh, dimension, transform, tools, right? But these tools is different from their tools. This is very related to Rhino tools and Rhino commands, analyze, render, Rhinofy, blend. We don't have it anymore. I think this blend came from MatrixGold version 6 that we have, that we didn't have the blend command in history enabled feature. So we create the blend to help you to create these kind of things. And also we didn't have history enabled join command. So that's because of that we create it was a very innovative and creative feature, Clay and help. So as you can see, we have similarities. The only difference is we added some categories, some menus, and also we put it in a horizontal direction instead of vertical or waterfall direction. Okay, so actually the ribbon bar in Matrix 9 it was there. Also, we here in Matrix 9 we have file that it's a container um, holding some comments that helps you to work on your file, like open, import, and these kind of things that we have it in MatrixGold side on the top left, top left side of the software, the MatrixGold like file that you can open, save, import, export, and these kind of things. We have edit and view and help. But this view controls the available palettes that we will talk about this very soon. But in Matrix 9, this view is similar to this view, okay? So controlling the viewport. Perfect. So this is a very brief explanation about the ribbon bar. So in ribbon bar also we already added the search box. So if you want to search something, for example, you couldn't find some things, you can go to the search box and type, for example, rebuild, and as you can see, you can find all the commands contain or start or end with or terminate with rebuild letters or rebuild word. Okay, so finding them it's much more easier in these kind of things. Okay, perfect. So we have minimize, restore, and close that we already have in Matrix 9, and also at the end right part of the ribbon bar we have a gearbox icon, which is related to the preference of this palette or panel. I will talk about this now, but before, let me talk about these two more icons, help one and the parametric one. Okay, the dynamic one. What is parametric or dynamic? Look at to each menu that we have, curve. Look at to each categories that you have, curve, surface. If you look at the curve, you will see that we started adding some comments with a spark or lightning bolt sign that you can see here. They are parametric comments. They are the comments that are editable and you can edit them several times. Okay, unlike Matrix 9 command that you confirm them, you're not able to edit in MatrixGold. You can edit as many times as you want. I will give you an example during this video, and you will understand it completely. And then if you want to get more information, or if you want to learn more, you can go to Gemvision Academy, that you can have access by buying or upgrading or doing transition to Matrix Gold freely for 6 months, and you can learn about these kind of um, comments. So I'm not supposed to explain all the commands. I just want to show you how they works. Okay. Perfect. So as you can see, we have them in each category. So each category starts with these kind of builders or this kind of dynamic command. As you can see, some categories has more, some of them have less. For example, in tools, we have a lot of commands has these features. Okay, by default, they are dynamic commands. In gems also, we have a lot of command in setting, but for example, in a view, we don't have anything, or in render, we don't have anything. In dimension, we don't have anything, or in curve menu, we have less, or so it depend on each category, but they are very, very helpful, and this is a very important PowerPoint of the metrics code, and I will talk about them soon. So yeah, so this gearbox, this is a preference of the panel. So if I click on that one, as you can see, it's opened the preference panel. We decided to, help you to have a very dedicated preference with each panel. And this is cool because some maybe you don't want to have the text, so you can turn it off. You don't want to have the icons, you can turn them off, you can turn them off. Or even you can make them bigger or smaller according to your monitor size and these kind of things. So it's cool, right? For example, display modes, it's completely customizable, dynamic commands, keyboard, layers, notification, and these kind of things. So you can customize it easily. Perfect. So whenever you saw these gearbox, like quick command, still we have the gearbox, it means that if you click on that, it's address you, it's take you to the quick command preference, and you can customize it. You can change the size, you can do whatever you want. Okay, good. So look at this matrix 9 command. So in matrix 9, we don't have something like this. So as you can see, for example, the main menu, the icon, history, they are predefined sizes, and this is a good benefit or a good advantage of the matrix code. You cannot change this icon size. You cannot change the size of the letters and these kind of things in these kind of panels. Okay, good. So now, before I continue to talk about the left panels and right panels, I want to reset my viewport to being very similar to your viewport. Okay, so if I go to the matrix code and then I go to the view and then I click on reset window layout, as you can see, I already reset my viewport. Okay, so now our viewport or our interface is completely similar to each other, right? But now I want to go to this gearbox and I want to make these icons a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see easier, right? You can see I can go to the quick command, click on that one, and then make them a little bit bigger so you can see them easier. And also we um, created a magnifier, an overall magnifier, that you can make everything bigger or smaller at the same time as you can see, right? Easily. Perfect. Okay, so this is the new features that we have in MatrixGold. Good. So now let's talk about this part: icon history, main menu, display modes, these 11 important commands, snaps, and this kind of thing. Okay, where is the icon history that we have in MatrixGold? Okay, the icon history hold the comments or holds the icons that we already click on that one, and it has a limitation. Okay, so I mean that if you go to the curve and then you click on that, you will see that we have a line here. So if I click on that one and we have that one, right? So as you can see, if I click, how many items it can hold? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 comments, right? And also we have undo and redo here. So where is icon history? We changed the name of the icon history to recent comments, okay? And we have it here. So icon history is already changed to recent comment. So in Matrix Code, if you click on anything, okay, you can have the icon here, right? You see that? It's here. So another advantage of the recent command is you don't have any limitation. So what does it mean? It means that if I move my mouse somewhere between the panels, for example, between the recent command and dynamic group, and then I left click, I can increase the size of the recent command. Okay, so this is a very the customizable part of the matrix code. Each panels are customizable. I mean that you can dedicate more space for the panels or the palette that you want. For example, in recent comment, I can have, as you can see, I can click as many comments I want, and it save it, okay, up to, even if I go here, it can keep whatever the recent comment capacity can hold it, which is, is depend on your monitor size or the space that you already dedicated. So this is the recent comment. Okay, so in Matrix code, in Matrix 9, the name is icon history, and in the Matrix code we have recent comment. Undo and redo. Okay, so on where is undo and redo? We put undo and redo in quick comments here, and also in miscellaneous. So if you go to the miscellaneous, we see that we have undo and redo bottom. Okay, very good. So let's talk about the main menu. So in Matrix 9, we did something similar to the ribbon bar that we have in Matrix Code. But as you can see, for example, if I click on curve, it's not holding all curve command. Um, Actually, it's holding all necessary and most used curve command. Okay, so this is actually, I would say this is not a main menu. The main menu actually is here, and that where we have all curve. This is a very I would say customized mm, command holder, right? So for example, if I go to the surface, I have a selected surface command. If I go to the solid, I have selected solid, okay, commands. So as you can see, also even file, view, utilities, measure, and custom. Let's talk and find them. So file is here, exactly in file. Okay. Here, view, as I told you, it's controlled the viewport. So actually it's here. controlling your viewport. So if you want to put the picture frame is here, if you want to four-sided, or if you want to restore the viewport zoom and these kind of things, you can see them here. As you can see, right, viewport to find, or these kind of things, you can find them easily. Utilities, that is a combination of some commands. Actually, we don't have utilities here in MatrixGold, but we already have them in their own and corresponding menu. So, for example, if you this is related to analyze. Okay, so the utility is a kind of analyzing. So if you want to find the naked edge or something like this, you need to go here. Or if you want to check your mesh or whatever you have to do in analyzing. Okay, so the most important comments is merge edge or these kind of things. It's everything about the edge tools, right? Or here we have some mesh command that actually you can find them in mesh menu, right? So this is some things that we have. Some of them you have to type, some of them you have to find in their own category. So this is the difference between Matrix 9 and Matrix Gold. Measure is the same, so we have dimension. We changed to dimension already. Okay. Customs. Okay, we don't have it here. That we already. We are not here in Matrix Gold. You are not able to create your own category yet. I will talk about this later. How to have it in a different way. Okay, but this is also the same. So curve is there. Surface is there. Let me do like this so you can have it easier. Okay, so as a curve is curve, surface is surface, solid is solid, transform is transform, sub D, which is a Clio, actually art. Okay, actually we don't have art like traditional Matrix 9 arts, okay? But actually, we have a very similar art command like emboss, including in Clio that you can find it. So we call it emboss. Even in Matrix 9, we have it in emboss also because we integrated emboss and art together. But in art, we have a separate art and we have emboss, okay? Builders. Okay, look at these builders. So in builders, actually, we have some of them and we don't have some. For example, if I go to our tools that I told you, this is a builder. So as you can see, we don't have any free for not builder. We don't have not builder. We don't have pattern builder. We don't have not list builder, and still we don't have eternity ring builder. Okay, we have signature builder, we have these two, we have Clio and boss text on curve, and we have rope builder. Okay, so as you can see in our tools, we delete or omit some comments in MatrixGold version 3.11, but we already added some new things in MatrixGold. Okay, so as you can see, some of them are not available yet, but we are hardly working on these kind of comments. And for example, some things like Evergreen Builder, we have then in MatrixGold version 4 very soon. So this is something that amazing company like Gemvision does. We get the feedback, and when we see that a lot of people need this kind of command, we add it in our next and future builds. Okay, so don't worry about this kind of thing. We will add them very soon. Okay, so in tools, we integrated a builder with tools. So some of them you can find it here, like this kind of thing. You know, for example, for a raid profile, we found it is not um it's not as useful as we thought. So we deleted in MatrixGold, right? Or for example, is a kind of surface pullback. We already had it in surface command or a pull and push that you can see here, right? We changed some commands. Okay, Burbank library, we don't have it. Scholar findings library, we don't have it. We found that MSR is not useful, so we integrate because we are using Matrix 8. So in Matrix 8 have this kind of issue. We'll talk about some important changes very soon. Okay. In Shams, we have a lot, we have most used and important ones, okay, and also added some. In settings, also we have cutters, we have and render. We already changed our render engine from V-Ray to cycles, and also we added a kind of real-time and beautiful visualization uh, and simulation like IGO that doesn't need any high-performance computer. As you know, V-Ray need a high-performance computer, good CPU, good graphic card, but IGO is a visualization, and even you don't need a very medium medium range computer. Even with a low specification, you can have a good render with the IGO viewer. Okay, so even in our render, we have animation builder, animation studio that we also have it. We also had it here. It works better and nicer. Okay, so it was a very brief explanation about this kind of thing. And as I told you, it's an honest, but I would like to insist on this one that we hardly work on our software, and after getting the feedback, so we add comments step by step by their priority. Okay, perfect. So now maybe some of you said that, okay, I want to have exactly the same main menu in MatrixGold. So what can I do? So we in MatrixGold version 3.11, we add this feature that you create your own category and panel, very similar to MatrixGold, Matrix 9. So for example, if you click on this plus, you have a new tab. Okay, if you right click on that one and then you change to surface and then right click and rename it, change to curve, you can easily, for example, add and customize this kind of thing. Let me change this to rename it to, you know, mm, defaults the same or important, and then okay, I change this one to curve. I want to show you some things and add one more to rename surface. Okay, and now, for example, in curve menu, you are finding some command that you use a lot, like line. So as you can see easily, you can add them here, right? You can go to a spiral. You can go to clean up, okay, like fillet or this kind of thing. We can add to connect. Okay, even you can change their location here, or from object you want to use duplicate one. So as you can see, or even you can go to the surface and you can add offset, you can add extrude, you can add patch, and this kind of thing. And also you can set the color that, for example, you want to do these, or you want to set the color, you want to do this. So as you can see, you can add as many as you want. And finally, you will see that, oh my God, this is very similar to MatrixGold main menu, just with this difference, the difference that you can add necessary ones. You don't need to add all of them. For example, many of you know that sometimes we didn't use extract wireframe, or sometimes we don't use section a lot. This is not a very, very important command, but you can add the important command here, and you can have exactly the same Matrix 9 look. Okay, so this is a very, very important things about that. Very good. And also we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 important command here, like copy, edit point, control point, meter, move, rotate, explode, join, split, trim, and ring rate. So we have them here in default parts. Okay, we have them here. So if you want to find them, the only thing you need to go to the default, or you can go to miscellaneous parts. Okay, perfect. And now let's talk about the display. So as you can see, our display panel start with show grid, show cutters, preview shade, and shade select, gen view, and surface view, and also display modes. Okay, so in MatrixGold, we added the F7 short key to enable C-plane or disable it. So if you press F10, F7, sorry, you will see that you can hide it or unhide it. So this is the same function that we had with that one, right? If you click on that, you don't have your C-plane, your grid, and you can turn it off and on. These show cutters show preview shade and also shade selection. They work differently in Matrix Gold. Let me show you. In Matrix 9, when you create some things, for example, when I create a line, let me show you, and then you put gem on curve. Okay, and then go up, and then I want to do it down, and then I want to go to gem cutter. So when I change my viewport to shade it or turn it off, as you can see, the colors stays in shaded mode, right? So that's why we use these features to change these kind of things, as you can see, to see the cars in a different way, to follow the display more, so, but we don't have the actually this feature. It works differently in Matrix Gold. So if you click on that one, I mean that the line, and then you go for the gem on curve. Okay, and then let me move it over there a little bit, over there a little bit, right? And then I want to go to region. I want to go for down. And then I do gem cutter. So as you can see, our cutters follow the display mode. So you don't need to control them in a different way. And it's easier. In many cases, it's easier to do like this, right? So as you can see, you can see the object in a different mode and different things. Okay, so in Matrix Code, the cutters follows the viewport display mode, active display mode. Okay, so we don't have this kind of thing, these three things. We don't have it in Matrix Code anymore because we don't need it. We have gem view and service view, which are very, very important. So we put it in view. So as you can see, we have gem view and surface view here, right? Perfect. So another things here, and then we have display modes. Okay, let me put it a little bit down. Okay, so we have the display mode here. So as you can see in display mode, when you turn off the display mode, it goes to the shaded mode. But in a Matrix School, we dedicated an icon for the shaded mode. Okay, and also you have a list to access all available all available display modes. So in Matrix Code, we have the same. So if I move it up, if I go down, you will see that we have all available display mode. And also the good news is you can have your own display mode, and you can add your own display modes in MatrixGold that you can find the tutorial video in Gemvision Academy. All right, so you can add your own. As you can see, some some of them has have the user icon. It means that they made by user. They are not MatrixGold default feature. Okay, actually they buy user, but actually some of them we added later. So even they have, even they made by us, but they have the icon. Okay, very good. So this is the display mode feature that we have here, right? So this list is exactly here. So we have also this one to control the mesh quality, the render mesh quality actually, that we cannot see it or behind the scene because it's related to the render. But we don't give access you to have it uh, in your viewport. But if you are interested to change it, you can go to the options and you can go to mesh here and you can play with that one. Okay, and you can get the feature that you want. Okay, so this is related to the mesh feature and these kind of things. Okay, even so this is it, so it's not necessary to have access to that one, but because normally we don't want to uh, uh, add a lot of burden on CPU, because when you change it to very superfine mesh, I mean that here superfine mesh and the graphic card went to the graphic card goes to a high performance feature, and your computer will start to getting hot. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Very good. And then what we have snaps, right? So where is the snaps? Actually, the snap features is here. Okay, this is what we call snaps or persistence snap, turning off and turning on. So end, mid, center, quad, near, point, perpendicular, intersection, tangent, and perpendicular. So these kind of features. Okay, so if you go to status bar, you will see that we already add OSnap. So this is status bar we will talk about soon, talk about them very soon. So we have OSnap. So if you click on that one, your OSnap emerged and it appear here. So you can click and activate them. So end, near, point, mid, center, intersection, perpendicular, tangent, quad, not, vertex, project, and disable. So this is exactly the same as you disable it and it disappeared. Okay, so always snap on, and off. Okay, so this is about persistent OSNAP. But look at this. We have three one-shot OSNAPs on surface, on poly surface, and between. But you need to activate it because they are not active automatically. So how? Just you need to move your mouse, hover or over the O snap and then press Control. So as you can see here, we have on surface, on poly surface, and on mesh, right? But the good news is here also we have on mesh, right? And this is the, if you want to activate the between, you have to press shift, not control. So if you press shift, you go to between. If you press control, you can go from perpendicular, from, and this kind of thing. They are one shot snaps. Okay, they are not persistent snap. It means that you need to activate them whenever you want to use it. Okay, so press control, you can access them. And I told you persist on mesh. It's very nice feature that we have it in MatrixGold, and also persist on poly surface, persist on surface, and these kind of things. They are new in MatrixGold because MatrixGold supports Rhino version 8, but Matrix 9 support Rhino version 5, and it belongs to about 10 years ago, 9 years ago, and it's really old. And you will see that you cannot access to these new features by using a Matrix 9. Very good. So, and also we have three things, ortho, planar, and project. So all available here in status bar. So as you can see in our status bar, you can have access to grid snap, ortho, planar, and project. You can activate them just by checking them, okay? And also OSNAP, Smart Track, Gumball, and Record History. So we put it in status bar. Good. And also we have grid snap here. So you know that you can turn on and then turn off it just by clicking on this one. So in MatrixGold, you just need to activate it and we can have access to 0 0.1, 0 0.25, 0 0.5, and 1 millimeter um, grid snap. Okay, very good. So now let's talk about info and setting. So info and setting, we put some pre-frame and useful thing, and I want to talk about them. So here is what is it? This is a Rhino option. So if you want to access to the Rhino option, you need to type in MatrixGold. Just type options and you will have it. Okay, we don't have a dedicated icon for that one. We have a properties panel or object properties. Just by clicking, you have it here. In MatrixGold, we dedicated Control T. So if you press Control T, okay, we have properties panel, and that if you select the object, it shows the properties feature of the object. Okay, very good. Normally I close it because I don't want to occupy my screen. And here we have object info. So if I click on that one, it shows you the features of the object that we call it the object info. So for now, the time that I'm recording this video, we don't have this feature. I mean that the object info like we had in Matrix 9, but we are working on that one to have it very soon. Okay. So all object info this is a kind of panel that object information. Actually, this is in properties panel. So if you control T, you can go down and you can go to the details, and this is the object description. So it's give you all information exactly the same. Here we have a command history. So the showing the last 20 comments that we use in the command history. Okay. So is a kind of having the your command history. Okay, so if you can click on that one and then you have it there, or even you can create a macro or short key for that one and these kind of things. Okay, so it's not a very important feature that we don't have a dedicated icon for that one. Super select. We added the super select is here. So if I go to here, you will see that we have super select. These super selects works better and nicer and more accurate than Matrix 9 super select. So if you click on that, automatically recognize the whole object in the scene, and then it shows you all available thing that you have here. So it's super select. Okay. So here we have actually Viewport tab toggle that is talking about these kind of things. Okay, so actually you have to type it for now, but if we got a lot of uh you know uh Viewport uh, Viewport tabs, okay, it's here Viewport tabs, so you can show high toggle and do and this kind of thing. when we get a lot of feedback from our customers that they don't use it a lot, so we decided to not include it in metrics goal. But we get a result that okay, many of you use it. We can add it in our next metrics goal release. Okay, so this is a display option that it's exactly the same as Control T or properties. So this is the display and this kind of thing that you can activate it by having your properties panel. We have the bounding box. Okay, box edit menu that you need to select an object and it show you the box edit. Again, this is a feature of box edit that you can click it by this gearbox icon and then show panels, and then you can activate the box edit here easily and you have the same. So the only difference is in Matrix 9, we dedicated icon for that one, but in Matrix Gold, we didn't do that. So you have to just go this way and activate it. Okay. So library menu, when you click on that, is guide you to the library exactly the same. So if you want to access to, because this is a Rhino option, so you can have access to um actually the library or materials. Okay. So even as you can see, we have them all here, or it's a kind of file explorer, as you can see. So you can have access to the library environment or whatever you have in Matrix Gold. Okay, so we have Super Select, we have Smart Track and Design Report. Okay, Super Select is here. So selection filter, or actually it's not Super Select. I told you Super Select. It's selection filter. Sorry. Its selection filter that you can activate it is activated by the turning on OS Snap. So when you turn on OS Snap, just this tab activates the selection filter that you can see here, right? Selection filter. And here, okay, Smart Track, we have it here. Okay, so let me show you. So it was selection filter, OS Snap, Smart Track, okay, Gumball, and Record History. Okay, and Design Report. We already put the Design Report in Tools. Okay, GM Report and Tech Report. Actually, we changed Design Report to Tech Report. So our Tech Report, um, um, it's let me show you when we click on that one. So it's some things like this, okay, is a kind of tech report. But in MatrixGold, we decided to change it to some things like that, okay? So it shows you the show map, the option, the feature, and this kind of thing. And the good news about the tech report is in MatrixGold version 4, we have a fully it's completely better a tech report with new features and a lot of things, customizable features, and it's much, much more better than that. Also, as you can see, we hardly work on other features and create it much more better. Now, this tech report is super satisfying. To be honest, I really like it. It was really good. I always send for my customers or the manufacturing department for following up and, finishing the job. But we decided to redesign our gem report, our tech report completely, and give you a lot of more feature on this one. Okay, so now let's talk about these kind of things. So this is Rhino history that we already you already know about that. It's here, record history. So if you right click on that one, you can activate record history, update children, lock children, or broken history warning. Exactly the same. But this three feature is related to the Matrix Gold, Matrix history recording. So as you know, some command in Matrix, like as you can see, profile sweep, we had a small icon here. It means that these commands support Matrix history. So why we invented this history in Matrix 9? Because Matrix 9 support Rhino 5. And in Rhino 5, we have a few commands that support the history, unlike Rhino 8 or unlike MatrixGold that support Rhino 8. Um, that we have a lot of command with history enabled feature in Rhino 5 wasn't like that. So we decided to add our own history in some commands like provide history, right? So this is important. So for example, here create from to view, right? Or let me check here. We don't have this, some things anymore. But anyway, so this comments is about the writing history. So we don't have it. We don't about the matrix history. We don't have it in matrix code anymore. But the good news is we have dynamic or parametric feature that is a very, very advanced advanced history enabled feature that I will talk about them with you guys very soon. Okay. Here, the first one is MSR Gumbo that we don't have in matrix code anymore because it's not functional. It's not. It doesn't have any function anymore. But these three function control the gumbo. So if you right click on the gumbo, you can see them aligned to the C plane, aligned to the object, aligned to the word. But the right click on this one is not. It doesn't show all features of the gumbo. But look at this. If I have an object, let me create on that one, and then I left click on this small circle, you will see that we can align our gumbo to see plane, object, word, and view, right? So in Matrix 9, let me show you in Matrix 9. In Matrix 9, when I create and when I activate my gumbo and when I click on these here, but you will see that we have just three feature: align to C plane, align to object, and align to word, right? And we missed align to word, align to view, sorry. And it's very important feature. Why? Let me show you. For example, when we create an object, right? Let me turn off the grid snap. And then when we move these control points up, and then we want to adjust them in 3D space, aligning toward the C plane doesn't give me enough controlling feature. But if I click on that one and I go to the view, as you can see, my gumball starts rotating along my viewport and moving moving this feature become much more easier for me to control, and it's really amazing tools, all right? So so that's why I recommend that move to MatrixGold as soon as possible, and you will see that you can enjoy of some important feature and some good features of Rhino 8 and MatrixGold teachers. Okay, perfect. So now, this is about the gumbo feature. And then we have the layers. So we have the layers here. Let me show you. We have the layer. As you can see, you can control your layers here. You can hide a lock. You can even use hide bottom. You can use show button and these kind of things. You can hide additional layers and you can show them. Good. And also we have the project feature. Let me turn off this one. And we have the project. So in project, we already redesigned our project feature. And as, for example, if you go to the project manager, you have this kind of thing on the right side, and then you have a big panel here. But in our project, what we did, actually, we split the project panel into two pieces, food save and job pack, which is job pack is a kind of export feature, and food save is like saving your object, and even you can have them in vertical direction or horizontal direction. If I click on that one, and then it's helped, and then it's open the this part. You can click on use horizontal layout, and as you can see, I can have them in horizontal feature. So we have a list of our available customers here. We can add them easily just by clicking on this plus, and then we can go to this feature, I mean that the content manager or project manager here, we added some new features like you can add your own tags and these kind of things. As you can see, you can change the status by color, and also you can see your job bags in a different view, right? Side view. So, for example, if I go to just this one, I can see them from top, I can see them from front, and I can see them from the side. So as you can see, because sometimes some models are very similar from the top, but from the side, they are not similar. So we can add them, you can see them in a different way. So we can change the layout, how to see, and a lot of things, right? And also, we already add the collection. That this collection is really, really, really helpful because you can go to your own collection. You can categorize them like displays, earrings, hoops. So when your customer asks you to find or show some things is much more easier to show your models here instead of going to the file explorer in Windows and show them there. So it's really cool and it helps you to make more money and satisfy your customer by access your files in a very fast way. So for example, if you want to add some things like a file or whatever, or for example, I want to add a new things, right? Collections. I can click on add and I can add the modern rings. Okay. For example, something like that. So as you can see, I have it there, right? If I click on that one, even I can have another folder or I can add file. I can find it from my folder and I can add it later. Okay. For example, if I click on that one and I click on that and then open, so as you can see, I already add this one. Okay, but it seems that my file has because it's including mesh or these kind of things is already broken, but it's not a big issue. Okay, even you can delete it. Okay, because I didn't create that one for these kind of things. Anyway, so this is really cool, a feature that we can have. So this is a project manager. It's much more better and faster than MatrixGold and Matrix 9. So if you can remember, when we had a lot of project here, our computers start getting laggy and it didn't work properly and nicely, right? Okay, perfect. Okay. So this is a very fast comparison between Matrix 9 and Matrix Core panel. So now let's talk about here, right? Okay. So command bar. So we changed the command bar from the top to the bottom part. Okay, but if you don't like it, the only things you need to do is go to the Matrix Gold, edit, and then preference, right? And then go to the rhinoceros and you can change whatever you want. You can see command bar location, you can change to the top and then you can press OK and from now on you can have it on top part. Okay, it's a completely depend on you guys. Okay, so this is some things that you can do. And then, okay, this is traditional Rhino panels that actually we don't need to have it, so I prefer to close it. So we have viewport tabs that I told you you can have it. So as you can see, the viewport tabs is here, but if you don't like it, again, you can go for uh, viewport tabs and you can align to the top. So now we have it on top part, okay, just under the command bar. So it's similar to customize your features here, okay. And also we changed the viewports names, right? So looking down, change the top perspective, same front true finger, we changed to front or side view, we changed to the right and perspective remain the same. The size of the grid is saying 40 millimeter by 40 millimeter, but what we did, we changed the y-axis color from the blue to green because we decided to help the Rhino users feel more comfortable working with Matrix Code too. So we just change these kind of things. We upgrade our ring icon to a realistic one instead of some curves and these kind of things, right? So yeah, and this is everything's about the central parts. I mean that the viewport. Okay. So let's see to have anything to explain or no. So as you can see with this comparison, we completely explain the Matrix 9 features in Matrix Go. But I want to add some more explanation about the Matrix Code new features that you can have and you can enjoy of having of them. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the customizable palette. As you can see here, we have four different panels or tabs, right? We can control them in Matrix Gold view and we can activate them, we can call them, we can bring them here. So for example, if you close them by accident, I mean that if I close all of them by accident, if I go to the Matrix Gold and then view, I can call them like this: display modes, gem report, oh no, gem report layer, projects and quick commands, right? Easily we can access them like this. And also the good news is we can change their arrangement and layout. How? If I left click on that one, you can drag them out, left click and then drag them, left click and then drag them, and also left click and drag them. And also I can click, move, and put it here, and then I can move and then I put it on top of the quick command. I move this one and put it behind the quick commands, and also I put the display mode inside the display. So as you can see, we have two different tabs that easily help me to access them and use my space, right? And also here, we have dynamic group, dynamic command, and properties. For example, I don't want to use the properties. Okay. So properties, I want to close that one, but we have dynamic group and we have dynamic commands here. Also, even you can customize them. For example, I want to put dynamic group inside the dynamic commands. Okay. So, oh, sorry, and I can have them here, dynamic group and dynamic comments. Very good. Okay, about importing your project from Matrix 9 to Matrix Gold. Okay, so for many years you have been using Matrix 9 and you have a lot of projects here, right? And now you want to have them in Matrix Gold. We make this job very easy and just with a few clicks. Okay, so as you can see, I have three jobs here, right? So if I go to Matrix Gold and here you see file, you will see we have a legacy matrix migration visor. If you click on that and then you click on this, it shows you, it automatically recognizes the project folder and it shows you that you have before Gemvision 1, Gemvision 2, and Gemvision 3. You can mark them that I want these three. And also even you can import your project archive folder. You can import your database file manager. And also you can import any profile folder that you already manage. Okay, for now, I just want to work on project folders. And then I click on import. So now importing happened. And then if I go to the project, you will see that I have Gemvision 1, I have Gemvision 2, and I have Gemvision 3. And then just by clicking this one, would you like to say, no, I want to import it. And we're waiting to import the file. Okay, normally this is because of the photo that we already have in the file, but because we don't have access to these JPEG files, they ask us that do you want, I said that okay, continue. And now, as you can see, we already have our Matrix 9 file here. But look at this. This is a block instance, but I mean that the gems, but they are not MatrixGold gems. Again, you can easily convert all your Matrix 9 gems to MatrixGold gems. How? Just go to the MatrixGold files and then legacy import. Automatically it recognizes that you have Matrix gems here. The only things you need to do is you just click on that one and then you click on import. Okay. And as you can see, automatically change to MatrixGold gems. And this is the good news that you can edit it automatically, all of them. Okay. So now I want to talk about a very simple example of the feature of parametric feature. And let me insist on that one that we have a lot of video. We have a lot of videos about parametric features in Gemvision Academy. We have we have a complete tutorial videos in Gemvision Academy. And I highly recommend that when you have a transition when you get MatrixGold, it's free for you to to use it 6 months freely and watch the videos and learn about this kind of command. They need a complete explanation one by one. Okay, but look at the very simple just example. Okay. So if I go to the quick command or if I go to the tools and then I click on the ring rate, because this is a parametric feature, uh, in dynamic commands, we have some features that we can change. We have some parameters that we can change and we can have our ring rate. For example, I want to go to US and number 7, press enter. The good news is, for example, let's compare it to the matrix matrix 9. So if I go to this one and then I go up and then I click on that one, I already confirmed that one, right? So if I want to edit it, how can I do that? Actually, I cannot edit it anymore, right? When you confirm it, you cannot edit it. But in MatrixGold, when you can edit anytime, for example, I want to change my mind and I want to change to 8, right? Next, if I go to the gem, we have a feature gem on ring rate. So if I click on that one, it creates a gem connected to the ring rate. So as you can see, the location of the gem is connected to the ring rate. So as you can see, you can control it from here, here, and here, right? So this is a parametric feature. So if I go to the ring rail, edit it, and then I start moving the ring rail, the gem start moving and keep the defined distance between the gem and ring. They keep this distance, okay? So if I go and that one, you can see it start to change. So this is the feature of parametric. So if you click on that one and then you go to a gem offset curve and then you move it down and then make it a little bit bigger and then you select this one and then you go to the tools again, you put profile placer here, right? And then you change to this one, make it a little bit smaller, put it here, and then active auto sweep, and then you rotate it something like this. Okay, you select this one, you go to the setting, and then you create a settings for that one, or I can go to my styles, and I want to choose, for example, something like this by default. Okay, and make it a little bit bigger. Oops, a little bit smaller and moving down a little bit up. Okay, I to create something like that. And then I go to the curve and use parametric extract iso curve on this surface. Okay, put it here. So you see everything, they have a lot of parameters to change, right? Let me go here and put a point on this one, a 0.05. Okay. And here I want to go to 1 exactly in the center. And then I go to the gem and then gem on curve and then put something like this and then make it a little bit bigger. And then we put something like that. We go to the gem and prime placer. Okay. So now, as you can see, all these commands are connected together. So what if I change this one? So everything starts moving. As you can see, everything starts moving. What if I change the gem on ring rail to oval? Look at this. Look at this amazing feature. So everything updates itself. Basket, rail, gems, whatever we connected together, they start changing. And this is really cool. Dramatically control the time of your modeling. It boosts up your creativity and these kind of things. So this is the feature of the Matrix Gold version 3.11. So that's why we highly recommend to you guys that upgrade your Matrix 9 to Matrix Gold. And also, we have a lot of new features in Matrix Gold combined and bonded with Rhino 8, right? We have we are hardly working on Matrix Gold version 4, and we are adding a lot of new comments there that helps you to design faster, easier, and more convenient. Okay, Matrix 9 is a very old version. You can upgrade your metrics gold even and fast, and you can enjoy all having metrics gold. Okay, so this is a very important things that you need to be aware of that. Okay, so let's see what we have. I think I explained everything that is necessary in this kind of comparison. And so yeah, please, if you still have any question about these, please contact with us. Contact with our support team, and we are here to answer all your question about this. And yeah, and again, we highly recommend that upgrade to Matrix Code as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your attention, and yeah, thank you again.